Bing, bing, bing. Sound, ready? Just keep going. Goodbye. Poor thing. They all just got murdered. Yep, they got me.
You're Red Red Rory, right?
Yeah, yeah, oh, yeah, yeah.
Oh, bro, I was just watching YouTube, bro.
Oh, shit, alright, hell yeah. He's ticking away, he's gone on this rock. Oh no, dude, oh no. So, come here often? Guess not. Okay, let's go over this build here. We've got two builds to really go over. We have our Void Musket build, which is what I got the 40 kill game on, and then we have the Rapier Musket, which I like to use a lot more. Just it's kind of more fun from my playstyle, but you're gonna get a lot more damage from the Void Musket. Before we go over here, let's go over attribute points because they're gonna be the same in both builds. This is how it's gonna want to look. 25 strength. This gives us 5% damage on every shot. Bullet shots from a musket are light attack. 350 dex. That's what it scales off of mainly, and then 250 intelligence, and you're gonna want 250 int. The way we're going to get this is with the two leather pants. We'll go over that here in a moment. But the reason we want this 250 int is the 30% duration to damage over time effects. And that pairs well with the 150 dexterity point, which is 15% to damage over time effects. The duration. So you're getting 45% extra duration. And also with our keenly jagged, that can even go longer. And both of these builds benefit greatly from dots or damage over time effects. This is not an end game build, this is kind of a mid game build here. So let's go over it. First off, we have the finisher for our Rapier Musket. We are splitting the damage in this to 50% elemental, 50% thrust. You could go with an emerald slotted in this as well and just go all thrust. My musket's going to be all thrust right now. We do have the damage over time rune glass. In this case, I think it's arcane damage. And with that extra dot damage, instead of doing 2 ticks of 8%, we're going to do 3 ticks of 8%. So that increases our damage. I like to run the Heart Rune Cannon Blast, but you can honestly use a few different Heart Runes, whatever you like with your playstyle. For amulets, I have a lot of different amulets, but what you really want is going to be empowered and then some sort of protection. So slash damage and fire are the two that I find myself using a lot right now. I have the Hoplite Ring, and I have thrust damage added onto this. And then as far as earrings go, you can go with Empowering Toast or Healthy Toast, and then Nimble. And then your third perk, you can choose whatever you like for your playstyle. This one right now, I'm going to be changing to something else, but for now, this works pretty good. Let's go over gear. So for both the rapier and the void is going to be mostly the same, except for I'm changing the headpiece. The difference between those two is going to be a nullifying oblivion on my headpiece for void, and of course with the rapier I have omnidirectional evade. For both of these, I want refreshing power shot in one of my armor pieces. I have it on my chest. This is not ideal. I'm going to be upgrading this one here soon. That's why it doesn't have the rune glass in it. We'll go over the rune glasses here. I use the sided rune glasses, which is going to be a total of 5% extra damage to all my ranged attacks. I do not use the elemental ones because those count towards Empower Cap, just like harnessing does. And we're going to be hitting Empower Cap fairly easily, especially with the Void Gauntlet version of this. It's a little more difficult with the rapier, but the Empowering Toast helps with that. I have Shirking Energy on my 2 leather pants. These are, I think, the best artifact for Musket. You get so many attribute points, 45 plus an additional 11 to all attribute points. Eventually, you could even spec into focus and use everything. But right now, we're not doing that. We just we don't have the builds quite set up yet. I don't have refreshing on everything either, which I'm going to want to get. And then I have crippling powder burn on my shoes. I'll probably be upgrading these soon as well. I have the piece for my chest. I just need to get the armor matrix and set that in there. Let's talk about why I don't split damage on the musket. Right now, a lot of people are speccing against elemental ranged attacks with elemental aversion on their armor pieces, as well as using opals, and then also slotting against slashers, which is what I'm doing. So I find that not a lot of people are slotting against thrust damage. So if I keep everything as thrust, I also get more out of my thrust damage ring. If I split it, that thrust damage 7.8% would only apply to half, which is what it's doing with my rapier right now. I could change that. So right now I go all thrust, and I also like to use the moonstones as well. When you're firing, you're going to want to use your powder burn first into stopping power, and then roll, reload into power shot. So it's going to look like this. Now everything's on cooldown. Moonstones are plus 17% with the rune glass in them when you have all abilities on cooldown. The interesting thing about this is you can kind of cheese it here. So I have one still on cooldown. Let's actually reset this. So let's fire this guy. When you use your abilities, you're going to want to be using them on cooldown so that each of them has that 17% damage behind them. Because this is a projectile, your last ability will have that 17% behind it because the ability's on cooldown before the bullet lands. I've tested this. This is how it works. Additionally, you can cheese it out even more. The stopping power, obviously you want to use, but when you have just these two up here, you can load and switch them. So you can see as I switch them, they go on cooldown. So I can switch, shoot. That has 17%, that has 17%. You're getting 17% out of both of those shots, even though they're both on cooldown. When you switch, you get a 1 second cooldown on whatever one you fire last. So yeah, you just want to be using those abilities on cooldown to maximize the damage. That way you're 100% into thrust, which people are not specking against right now. And I just feel like I'm melting people faster by not splitting my damage. So let's talk about the Void Gauntlet. It's basically the same build, we just changed out the hat. With the Void Gauntlet, you're doing kind of a sniper build. Now once you get the Elemental Band, which I do actually have, I need to upgrade that. You can actually do away with this current setup that I have. But what I like to do is I'll drop an Oblivion, take an Empowering Toast. That's 25% right there. And then we're off to the races. And that's 25% from the Oblivion and the Toast. I also have an additional 7% from, where is it at here? The Powerful Honing Stone, and another 7% from my thrust damage here. So that's going to put us at 40% before we even shoot a bullet. As soon as we land, let's go over the tree here. We get 10% from headshots. We get another 5% from hitting any targets with a debuff. And we get another 10% when we land our power shot. So that's going to put us over 50% in power cap. And with, what are we going for here? And with the amulets that do empowered, I mean, you're going to be max empowered a lot of the time, especially with this Void Gauntlet. You're also doing a ton of dot damage. That's why we like the 250 int. Because we are running dots from, both our Rune Glass, we're running dots from Keenly Jagged when we land a crit shot, and we're getting dots from Life Taker as the passive. You're doing damage for all your range attacks. Disintegrate. It's 8 seconds, but it's really going to be, I think, 12 seconds because of 250 int and the 150 dex. So this is just crazy damage, and you can shoot somebody with one shot and do 12k damage if you include the dots, maybe even more if you're in power cap. It's pretty disgusting. So yeah, that's the build right now. I will be changing it and updating it as I get to endgame gear, and so I'll make another video at that time. In the meantime, enjoy this little highlight of Outpost Rush where I'm back capping, kind of solo at first. Just a nice little run, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye. Guy's dead. It's a dead guy. Guy died. Fire guy. We are farming right now with 11 kills. Holy moly. He's dead too. guy up here, hunting down my boy. He's dead. What's over here? I got instant. Doesn't give the cha-ching every time. Dude, we are just farming these poor guys. Oh, I died. 15 kills so far. Not too shabby.